Okay, so now we looked at the difference between I can go to the outside of the weapon or I can go to the inside of the weapon in these new school positions. Remember, I'm leaving it here more in front of me so you can see it. I don't want to be in this field of fire, so whether I do it this way, I want to pull this down to my hip so that I see how far away it is from my face and I have good control here. Okay, I can put my elbow on top or I can put it here. Now at this point I can break the grip, or if he's very strong, remember, I start going behind into the hammer lock. Now on the inside version, I don't have as many options with locks because the arm's bent. So when I go here, if I'm having a lot of problems, I may have to do it that way. Okay, which again is the same motion you would do on certain lapel grabs. Okay, so again, let me show you that one. When you're here, okay, for some reason I can't break it with my hand. I need more leverage. I release this hand, make sure I'm constantly twisting to the outside, and I put my hand here, and I try to lift his elbow or wrist. Okay, let's rotate. Do that one again. So to reiterate, if I go to the outside, I've got two options. If his arm is straight, I can lock it this way. I can even lock with my elbow over top, or I can go underneath. That really hurts his hands, so I'm not going to complete, but you end up in the hammer lock as I demonstrated earlier. Now, on the inside version, I get this far, I'm having a problem. I need to break it this way. Okay, which again, I'll show you later, is another class. These aren't no new motions that you're going to have to dream up. They're pretty standard, two different grabs and stuff. For example, you know, there's ones that people do. You do this, for example, if his arm is bent. You could do this on balancing, for example, where he's walking his arm out instead of letting it move upward. You know, that could, it's the same idea. Use the same principles that you already know. But from here, dropping it down is a better one. Okay, so now no matter where he puts it on you, you can use the same two, you know. So when he puts it under my chin like this, a lot of people are defending against the hand, which is good, but this is primarily comes from a knife defense. They're worried about working directly against the weapon. You can see if this goes off, I'm in that field of fire. I need to get that off me deeper. So I think, you know, provided the weapon's large enough, it's a lot easier to pull it by the barrel, and at the same time, I'm in the same, he's put this in the inside position for me. The only difference is I didn't have to start from here and move it to the inside. He's putting it in the inside for me. So pull it right down. Again, I've got the thumb here. I lever it up. This is usually enough, but if it's not, knock it off that way. Maybe I get behind him. And you've got that inside-outside principle really solves a lot of problems. He's pushing into my stomach. Yeah. There's different ones you can do here, but in the end, you don't have time to learn 15 different ones. This is still viable. It's exactly the same. Nothing has changed. Okay, and just remember to try to keep your hands as close to the weapon as possible. Okay, so how to drill this? First of all, try to maximize the leverage that you can get with each of your hands individually. So let's begin with the primary hand for the outside. So when he points it at me, it's possible that I can disarm that with one hand, okay? So that's how you want to drill it sometimes. I want to get here, out of the way, out of the line of fire, and I want to do this. I want to get enough leverage that I can peel it out of the hand. Now that's not the way we do it, unless maybe you've been injured, you only have one hand. It's possible, but this is for training. So the farther I am up the slide here, I can lose leverage by holding it here and I can injure my hand and I can twist it around. So remember, practice trying to grab as close to the trigger guard as possible. And now, by having a good base and dropping my weight, I become a lot stronger. Okay, same on the other side. So now I use the second hand, assuming I'm going to go to the inside, I can go this way. Now that's more to stop the discharge. My leverage is not as good here, but I can practice moving it just to the side, making sure that I've got a good grip of that corner, basically the corner of the gun. I can try to twist it out, but it's not as strong. Obviously, this is my stronger levering hand. But when I combine the two, it's going to come out really, really good. Okay, another one we haven't looked at, same idea though. If you want to add the third level here, is not only do I have the outside and I have the inside, sometimes you can go under it. Everything's exactly the same except I'm going to push the gun that way. Sometimes, you know, it's natural just to bend your knees and your head is a small target. So moving like this is good, but it tends to throw you off balance sometimes. Sometimes this is the easier motion. Now, make your hand strong. Sometimes the leverage right up isn't as good as the other leverage is. Well, I can then just switch to the other one. And I can make a choice depending on where his strength is. Okay? So everything's exactly the same. Now, this time he's here, so there's no point moving my head. I have to go the outside. Okay? But it's at my head. I go above. I'm having problems here. He's trying to push the gun into me, so pull him off balance and do this one. All right, so now I'm thinking three-dimensionally. I can go under the line of fire. I can go to the inside of the line of fire. I can go to the outside of the line of fire. And the whole time, I'm trying to get my finger behind the hammer. I'm trying to get control of the slide. I'm trying to get control of his trigger finger. And I'm trying to get control of his thumb, which is his primary way your grip works to make this a functional grip. With practice, you won't have to think of each one of these separately. And when they all come together, it's very difficult for him to get the weapon to discharge, let alone to get discharged on you. So that's how we use these first two, the inside and outside, in a more universal way.